So Nomadland, not No Man's Land. No Man's, that's a different film. That's a Charlie Sheen film with D.B. Sweeney back in the day about stealing Porsches. No, this is Nomadland. Nomadland. It is currently streaming on Hulu. It stars Frances McDormand, and we're going to get into it on this episode of Film Fan. Hey, welcome to Film Fan, my channel where I discuss all things film related, television, and my passion for such things, and share with you my opinion on these things. If that is something you're into and you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so you know when I put up new content. I appreciate having you here. So yeah, Nomadland, as I said, currently streaming on Hulu. It's premiered I think it started streaming on February 19th, which is maybe like a week or two ago, and I just had the opportunity to watch it. So I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was a really brilliant picture. It was directed by Chloe Zhao, who did the screenplay based on the novel by Jessica Bruder. And Frances McDormand plays Fern, who is in Nevada, and she lost her husband recently. She lost her job. The plant where her husband worked and where she worked closed down, basically devastating the entire community that she lived in. So she hits the road. She basically gets rid of her possessions, leaves her home, and she buys a van, and she just becomes a nomad. She winds up doing like temporary seasonal work. One of them is at every year she's at a Amazon fulfillment center, and that's what she does. And then she just moves on to the next town and she finds another temporary job and she makes temporary friends. One of those friends, co-workers, invites her out to like a rendezvous point out in Arizona where a lot of like nomads get together, and it's kind of organized by this guy named Bob Wells, who in fact is actually a real nomadic, like van dwelling guy in real life. So this is not an actor. It's actually a real character. So at first she's kind of reluctant. She's not going to really go, but then she heads out there and she becomes part of this just tribe of nomadic van dwellers. Again, I guess I'm saying it right? Van dwelling, minimalistic life kind of thing, like throw all your stuff away and just live. And that's what this film is. It's not much more to it than that. There's no real plot here. It's not like, there's all this action happening and different things. And it's not a dialogue driven film with a ton of plot lines and subplots and, some story you're going to follow. It is actually just a story. And films work like that. You can have something that's really heavy plot driven or something that's just more about story. And if it's about story, if it's about compelling characters and about compelling situations and it sucks you in and it's done right as it is in this case, then it's really interesting and worthwhile to watch. I don't need to spend time talking about how wonderful an actress Frances McDormand is. I think I'd just be beating a dead horse. We all know that. And in this case, she again excels and just raises the bar in a very quiet way. It's not it's not like these extended monologues and all this dialogue rich sort of performances in this film. It's just really quiet. The entire movie is quiet, and it's set against the American landscape, and it's captured superbly by the cinematographer, and it looks good. It is a film about, let me get into that because I didn't really discuss that. But here's a woman who lost her husband, who lost her job, who watched her town basically just close down, and she decides to hit the road. Now, you're not really sure if she's compelled, like she's forced to hit the road, and you don't really know that. You don't get an answer to that right away as to whether or not she's like been forced to hit the road and she's broke or something along those lines, or if she just made a decision to kind of just go and explore the road and just take her life out there. She's clearly going through the loss of her husband and like I said, the loss of her life as she knew it. And what we're watching is her explore this world of being a nomad and sort of being unattached to things and sort of being disconnected, which is something I think a lot of people can relate to. You watch this and you feel like here's a woman that tossed everything to the wind and just disconnected from society, and she joined these people who do the same thing. What I want to touch on and what I really like is that the film never does this preachy thing where you get this look into this life of this nomadic group of people and the way they live their life. And it's not preachy. It's not this thing where it's telling you, throw away your possessions. And, it's not that thing. It's not this self-righteous, like, I've given up possessions and material wealth and we're out here living. Meanwhile, the guy's worth like, $2 million or some trust fund kid, but he's trying to grow dreadlocks and wear bandanas. And, that's not what this is. There's none of that. There is, First of all, the people that are in the film, it's shot almost in this documentary kind of style and feel to it, the scenes. And these are not actors. These are actually nomads. These are people who live that actual life. And like I said, that guy, Bob Wells, is like one of the main support organizers for that entire community of people. And you look at them and it's two parts of it. You never feel sorry. Like as far as Fran goes, her voyage into this world and her kind of, just kind of being upended and not like knowing where she is and kind of just exploring the next stop here or there. There's a strength to that. You see her not, I didn't sympathize with her. I never felt like, oh, we're watching this movie about this poor woman who's suffering, who lost her home and lost her stuff. In fact, there's a line in there where, I guess it's one of the neighbors in her former community says something about, like, the kid says, mom said that you're homeless. And she said that she's houseless. She's not homeless. It's something totally different. So yeah, you never feel sorry for her. You don't feel like this is a person who's suffering. You feel like this is more a person who's kind of just needed to chill out, like we all do at some point. So I can kind of admire the fact that she was able to just take it on the road and get a van and just do what she wants. There's a freedom to that. And it's pleasant to watch, even though she's enduring certain circumstances, like crapping in a bucket in her van and then blowing a tire and then not having money to get the van fixed, which eventually brings her back to her town and to her sister's home. You still feel like this is a strong woman who's disconnected from everything. And occasionally we all need to do that. And one of the other things I want to point out in wrapping this up is I very much enjoyed the fact that it touched on the idea that the most important things in our lives are our connections with others. A spiritual connection, our physical connection with others. There's some scenes where one of the women in the actual nomadic, that whole group, she passes away, and there's a whole scene with the fire, and they're throwing rocks in the fire, and they're talking about her spirit and her energy and their friendship. And every scene that Frances McDormand is in, where she's actually happy and she's kind of, you kind of recognize her as being like just a regular woman, are scenes where she's with particular people, where she's with these people she's befriended. David Strathairn, the actor, wonderful actor, is in this as well. He has a small role in this, and he befriends her and kind of flirts and wants to kind of be with her, but she's not ready for that. She's got her guard up. But all of the moments in the film where she's at her, I guess, her happiest are when she's connected with other people. So what really matters? Is it money? Is it the home? Is it a car? No, like her best times are with people. And I think she's looking for connection, but she's not really looking for it. She's not desperate for it. There's a difference. So I just wanted to bring that up because that's what struck me as being, one of the main things here was that connection with people, whether it's temporary or a long lasting relationship. And I thought that was a beautiful thing. Again, it was shot beautifully. It looks nice. It's got a great score. And it's a touching film. It's not anything that's seriously plot driven and going to really excite you. I had a friend talk to me about the trailer when I talked about this. And he said that he saw the trailer and wasn't interested in seeing it. And I said, look, he actually said that if the trailer had been, maybe the trailer should have been better. I said, look, no matter how they cut this trailer together, they could have had like the most award-winning trailer cutter, is that a word? put this together, and you still wouldn't have been interested in seeing it. It's not something that's going to grab you right away, but if you're a fan of Frances McDormand, which I very much am, I mean, you could tell me she's in a movie about watching rocks, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to watch that movie. And that's what happened here. All right, I turned it on. I loved it. I'm telling you, you're going to love this film. If you have not seen it, go ahead and watch this film. If you have seen it, let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and we can talk about it. All right, if you like this video, hit that like button, the thumbs up. Truly appreciate that. Truly appreciate you being here. If you're new, again, hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so you know when I put up new content. And that's it from me on Film Fam. I will see you on the next one.